Hi, this is Del Warren again at the Kegel Training Center, and we're going to be talking about one of my favorite subjects today to really prepare you for success. There's three key points I want to touch on today that you really have to address when you're bowling in competition. The first one is understanding that all the decisions that you make is about creating margin of error in an environment that's invisible and ever-changing. You have to have margin of error in order to score well. In other words, you have to be able to throw the ball a little bit inside the target and have a good result, and a little bit maybe to the outside of the target and get more recovery. Because we know by CATS data here at the Kegel Training Center that even the best players in the world, no one has ever thrown back-to-back consecutive shots where all the data was the same. So we know we're going to have some variance from shot to shot. The key here is to make sure that your bad shots, you're in a situation on the lane and with your bowling ball and your release, that if you do get the ball a little inside, you want to have a little bit of hold area. So if I miss left of the target, the ball still has a chance to hit the pocket, and if I miss out, the ball still has to recover. That's number one. Everything that we do, that we teach in bowling, is to create margin of error. Okay? The second thing is all about being aware of the scoring pace. In the Teen Masters tournament in general, because of the bowling balls and environment, etc., the scoring pace tends to be a little bit lower. We have to be aware of the scoring pace because it all has to do with what kind of strategies are we going to use, what kind of ball, what surface are we going to put on the ball, what hand release are we going to use. Do I need to average 225 to win the tournament? Do I need to average 195? Those are all factors in the decisions that I'm going to make that give me the best chance to be successful. Now, one of the ways to do that, obviously, is to go find the leaders. You get halfway through a tournament or into an event and maybe you're a little confused, you're lost, your adjustments aren't working. The easiest thing to do is go find the top two guys. Go find the leader, go find the second place bowler, go look and see how they're playing the lanes, maybe take a peek at what kind of surface they have on the ball, kind of relate to where they're laying the ball down, where they're sliding, where they're going, and what kind of rotation they have on the ball. And there are things that you can kind of mimic within your own game to get you in the part of the lane that they're playing, because if they're leading the tournament, chances are they have quite a bit of margin for error, and they're loose and they're confident, and you can really kind of mimic them and get in the part of the lane that they're doing, and all of a sudden you'll find that you'll have much more margin of error. And lastly, and this is where it goes along the lines with being confused on the lanes, it's very easy to get lost. And when that happens, what happens oftentimes is bowlers start to think about their physical game, and they start to think about how they're throwing it and what their release is and where their left shoulder is and what did my coach say about my head position. And this is really a good way to really not bowl well at all. So what we've tried to do in the bowling process, we've talked about three-point targeting and the process of going from here to here in the starting position, is really understanding that there's two areas on the lanes. One is the thinking box, and that's everything off the approach. This is where you do all your decision making right here behind the approach. But while you're waiting for your turn, where am I going to stand? What kind of axis rotation am I going to throw? Where am I going to slide? What kind of speed am I going to put on the ball? What is my target going to be? What's my focal point? All of this stuff, you're going to make decisions back here. This is also where you can observe, again, the scoring pace and potentially people that are bowling a little better than you. Once you make those decisions and it's your turn to bowl, when you hit the approach and your foot goes up, all you're doing is you're going through three-point targeting, you're taking 4 seconds, and I'm going from here to here, and I'm drawing a straight line back from the focal point and connecting it with the target that I'm looking at, and I'm going. And you pretty much you make it that simple. But oftentimes what happens is, as you're standing up on the approach, you are thinking about other things and you're not fully committed to the shot. If you would do that and get very good at it, it will make the game much more simpler. It will actually help you handle pressure. And at the same time, I think you're going to find out that you're going to make much better shots and your head's going to be very clear when you're bowling tournaments. Okay? So those are three key items when it comes to taking all this information and all the training that we've given you and actually applying it now that you're at a tournament and to utilize these 3 simple steps so that you can be better when it matters most.